Welcome to the preseason for LSR Group 2. We're here in Brazil as we see James barrel off the track. Not a good look for him here. Let me get the comments up here. Give me half a second. We are here on the new F1 game, F1 23. Ghosted for GT7. I will not be streaming. I don't know who will. Here, let me see if I can turn up the mic a bit. Mic test. Mic test. That's the highest it will go. Current pole position time has been set by JM624 with a 108.319. In the McLaren, Alexis Beast follows behind with a 108.484. Followed by Electric Envy in third in the Haas, 108.7. Then you've got the Ferrari duo. Oh, and Vacant Haddock passes Viper Eyes, sorry, with a 108.838. Not too far off of Zayek, and Tommy XXC will jump up to fourth now. Let us get telemetry and everything else on. So some guy just completed a lap. We've got a Mercedes off. That might be Alexis. No, that's his teammate of James 443. He's getting going again. He'll probably be coming into the pits this time around. But Alexis Beast is going to be on a outlap, or a hot lap here, sorry. Let's see, can he get about 1.5 tenths up to beat the McLaren of JM? Lexus gets a little bit of a twitch out that corner there. and it seems like he spun, possibly. I was searching up the Brazil track map because I don't know this track that well, so I honestly did not see the spin, but I do believe he did spin. Lexus is coming back into the pits, probably to change out the set of tires so we can go on one final hot lap. Acid has crashed. I believe he was trying to possibly pit and missed. And he's disqualified for going the wrong way and trying to back up into the pit lane. And there goes the Mercedes of JM right past the disqualified Aston Martin. I do believe JM is on a lap now. Or he's actually probably saving ERS so that he can wait and go for one final lap right at the end of the session. Sector 1-2 caution. I believe that is Nander. It was Nander, and it is also the Aston Martin of Acid Masters. The AI has finally parked the car. Shahome here could be going for a lap. Let's see. Let's ride on board with the AlphaTauri of Shahome. He passes a slow McLaren exiting the pit lane. He's keeping decent pace throughout the corner there, throughout the long turn 6-7 corner. Now we're actually on board with him. He's starting to run low on fuel though. The number 7 AlphaTauri, let's see, will he stick with this lap or will he come into box? Because if he comes into box, he's not going to get another lap. He's going to go for it. Let's see how fast he'll be able to get. Only P11, outside the top 10 still. Now let's watch the Group 3 champion. He's invalidated, actually. He still should have a good chance to get one last lap in, but the Group 3 champion has invalidated his current hot lap. He's going to get out of the way here for the Alfa Romeo, I believe that is. Yes, I believe that is Nander. Nander is 0.08 of a second up on his time, but look at this mess in front of him. And he gets a little twitch off the curb. He got onto the curb and it made his car get a little loosey-goosey. And he's not going to improve due to that twitch, but now Tommy should be going onto a lap here. Yes, he is. Let's see where the LSR Group 3 champion will place. He's currently P4. He gets a good run off the first couple of corners, chasing down this Ferrari ahead of him. Shahome has been disqualified now for being parked in a dangerous location. We've gotten 2 disqualifications now. But Tommy XXC chasing after the Ferrari of Zayek in qualifying, and there is Shahome parked on the inside of the apex there. He must have just lost control. And Acid Masters said that the AI pulled back out onto track, and that's what caused that disqualification for him. But let's see here. Will Tommy improve? It's looking like he won't, but he does, and he goes up to P2. He is almost 0.06 of a second off of JM. I don't think anyone but Vacant can improve. Vacant's 1/10 up on his previous lap time. Let's see where Vacant will place. He's going to jump up to 4th. Good show from the Alpine. And Sonic is not going to improve. So, our starting lineup for the race is JM, followed by Tommy XXC, Alexis Beast, Vacant Haddock, Electric Envy, Awesome Gumball 14, Zayek and Viperize, the double Ferraris in P78, followed by Nander and Vito. Sonic follows with Kendricks, Some Guy, Jimbo, and James. And then there's the JoJo, who did not set a lap, and Acid Masters and Shahomie. Who were DSQ'd. Now, turn 1 at this track can be chaos, so let's see who is going to push for positions and who's going to try and stick back and keep out of trouble. But a pretty close quality times for the front row, with just 0.81 of a second between them. But the worst on the session who set a quality time is going to be James 443. He had a bit of trouble getting a good lap in here. And then you got Shahomie and Acid Masters, both of them out of quali due to DSQs. But now it's time for the race. Now it's time for us to run for 36 laps around the Sao Paulo track. One of the greatest tracks on the F1 calendar. My personal favorite. It's just such a nice track to drive. I've never had any issues with it, but now it's almost time for us to get going here. Let's see who's going to win our preseason race before the season starts in Las Vegas next week. And yes, you heard it right. We are starting in Las Vegas following the PSGL calendar. Now, not all of our drivers are too happy about this, myself included, but it's the calendar, and not all drivers on the actual F1 grid are happy with tracks on the calendar. So we're just waiting on some players to load in. We've got a nice formation lap, and that was a very big twitch from Tommy there. I dropped my phone. So the last season Group 2 champion was Kevin Cow, but he since then has left the league. He did the equivalent of a Nico Rosberg. Vacant Haddock, Tommy XXC are two names on this grid that have won a driver's title before. Both of them at 1. The only driver to ever reach 2 in LSR is B-Tom. Actually, sorry, he has 3 titles. According to the Formula Game Comparison app. Which is what we use for our standings. And yes, he has. He's won 2 in the F1 category. Let's see here, though. We're about to go racing. Huh? Okay, we're underway, apparently. That was a little bit weird, but JM gets a good lead, and Alexis Beast is trying to get around Vacant. We've got a caution. Zayek is around. Viper is down a position. Zayek has gone around with maybe some guy, an awesome gumball in the first corner. But JM is keeping a good lead over the G3 champion, Tommy XXC, who is followed closely by one of the 2 Mercedes of the Lexus Beast, and Xiaomi and Vito might be off. Vito is not, but Xiaomi definitely is. Let us get all our data back up and running again. We've got a penalty already, 5 seconds for Jimbo for corner cutting and gaining a place. Ooh, good move from Tommy here. Let's hide the UI and look at this. He tries around the outside of turn 1, but he's not able to do it. He's gonna have to wait behind this this McLaren again to see if he can get past, but here we go. He's shooting straight by him on the straight. He's the one with the lower wings, so he's gonna take the lead here. The biggest position gainer, though, of the race is the Gojo, or the Jojo. I am honestly not sure how his name is pronounced, but he's gained 10 positions, and Awesome Gumball has lost 10. Hello, Tom Woodside. How are you doing today? So the Jojo is going to take fastest lap. He's trying to chase after Nander and Vacant. We're going to watch with no HUD at all. And let's see if he can get past. Vacant locks up on the rear a bit and goes and almost loses it. So Jojo's going to get around. I'm doing okay, Tom. You enjoying the race so far, my friend? But anyways, the AlphaTauri of Jojo now on the back of Nander after Vacant Haddock made a mistake. Tommy XXC still leads, followed by the McLaren of JM, but look at this, JM looking for move there. Now it's time for the top 6 to be in a DRS train, it seems. But look at this, the Williams trying to make a move on, or trying to defend from the McLaren, sorry. But the McLaren gets past, but now that's going to put him without DRS, and Tommy's going to cover it off. Vito's in the pits, most likely for damage. Yes, he is replacing his front wing right now. But the top 5 have pulled away from the rest. Vacant Haddock is falling away. Let's see what tires everyone's on. So, we've got mediums, hards, medium, soft, soft, hard, medium, hard, hard, soft. Oh, hang on. And James gets a penalty for cutting the corner and gaining a position. Awesome Gumball is off the track. So now we have 5-second penalties for 3 drivers. Fastest lap currently stands as a 1:11.4. The top 5, though, are within about 1.5, now 1.7 seconds of the leader. Jojo seems to have made a mistake, but Alexis Beast is now passed by Tommy XXC, but they're side by side, going up into the uphill double right-hander, and Tommy's around. He collects Nander. Both of them are around. That's a collision, and followed by Sonic THG. There must be oil on the track in this corner. Alexis takes the lead, followed by JM and the Jojo. I am sorry, but the Jojo has had the best race, but he goes off wide there. But as I was saying, he's had one of the best races so far, gaining 13 positions. Right now, he is the driver of the day. Acid Masters moves up as Nander has entered the pits for wing damage. JM on Alexis Beast, not gonna quite work out for the McLaren, who wants to take the lead. Oh, we've seen this just last lap. Let's see if it happens again. No, Alexis is gonna get a really good block off on the McLaren, and the McLaren is not gonna go wide and lose control. Alexis up 2 positions. Kendricks in the Haas, who is up 4, who's in 4th, is up 8. He's followed closely by Vacant Haddock, and we have a caution somewhere behind. I believe that was for Tommy XXC as he battles some guy. These two had a decent battle in the last race of G3 last season, and ooh, there's a little bit of contact there, it seems, as we're in the helicopter cam. Oh, and Tommy gets loose. He's passed by both Sonic and some guy as they both split apart and pass him. James is in 10th, but he needs to pull a 5-second gap to some guy if he wants to keep that position. As look at this battle behind, 4 cars in an insanely tight battle. Oh, and there's collisions. There's contact all over the track. It looks like that would be on some guy, but he was kind of pinched in there by Tommy and had no way to avoid Awesome Gumball, who collects Viper Eyes. Oh! Electric Envy spins Acid Masters. We just caught that. Just in time, actually. He has now lost a couple of positions here. Vacant Haddock and Kendricks are chasing after the Jojo, as JM and Alexis Beast pull off from the rest of the field. 2.4 seconds from the AlphaTauri, who is followed by the Haas and the Alpine, who are looking to get past each other. But Kendricks is looking to get that podium paying position, but it seems like he's a little bit low on fuel. probably taking the lower fuel setup to try and recover later on in the race, hoping for maybe a safety car. But Alexis B still defending from JM, the McLaren. They're about 3 seconds ahead now. Now exactly 3.1, 3.2. They are pulling away now. Both of them being on harder compounded tires. We do have a caution that is for Electric Envy. It seems like karma has gotten him for what happened between him and Acid in the same exact corner. Let's look at tires again though. The JoJo on softs while everyone else around him are on the harder compounds of tires, but Alexis Beast gets back past JM as JM did pass him. The pit window for the softs though should be open around now as the JoJo is being chased by Kendricks. Excuse me. Ooh, JoJo slides a little throughout that corner. It's gonna hold up Vacant and Kendricks behind him as this is a now 3-car battle for the final podium paying position, and Viperize penalty for multiple warnings and maybe Gumball went around and Viperize had to avoid him, causing the penalty. And Vacant gets past both Kendricks and JoJo, but now Kendricks and Vacant are battling. Alexis gets a 3-second time penalty while chasing after the McLaren of JM. He's going to try and squeeze him straight to the outside. Vacant versus Kendricks still. And it looks like it's going to Vacant, and James has retired from the session. That's going to call out a safety car. This is going to scramble everything up now. And while we are under safety car, I will be right back. I just need to go get some water. I return as we are under safety car. Vacant Haddock got a speeding penalty. Seems like Jimbo stayed out. So 5, 3, 5, 5, and 3. Both Ferraris having penalties. But this safety car let the people who got their penalties early on for corner cutting and making up a position, they were able to remove their penalties without any issues. Safety car set to enter this lap as Zayek goes on the grass a little there. And we are underway again. JM now sits in third after the Red Bull did not pit. Alexis jumping on the Red Bull early, but the Red Bull biting back. But it's not going to be enough, and here comes JM as well. But the Red Bull's got lower wings than Jay. And the Red Bull's going to go for a move, but he gets on the grass and loses momentum. And now JM easily getting past the Red Bull after he made that mistake trying to get back past the Lexus Beast to take the lead. Now Jojo gets past, and this is going to cause a bit of chaos because he's slowing up the pack behind him because they're all on fresh tires. He is not. The only two people that did not pit were Some Guy and Sonic, as well as Jimbo, and there's a spin Viperize around. Big contact, it seems, between Some Guy and Viperize. And Jimbo comes in the pit lane now. And a twitch from a couple of drivers as they all go wide there. And there's some contact behind. It seems like Envy may have made some contact with Shahomi. And we got contact, it seems, between Nanders, or sorry, not Nanders. Who was that just went off there? Swear I saw someone go off, but Envy's out of the race now in the pit lane. the Red Bull of Jimbo just spun here. He's a good bit behind, and he might get lapped here soon. Alexis and JM still pulling gaps between the other drivers on the grid. Zayek, Acid Masters follow Jojo. Vacant not too far off of them as well. We've got a nice battle here for P7. Alfa Romeo versus Haas. But the battle for the lead still continues. McLaren versus Mercedes. That's a very bright sun there. JM, DRS on Alexis. He's gonna look for a move here. He's gonna try the outside, but he gets pushed off by Alexis Beast. And we've got, I believe, some guy around in the final sector of the track. But JM definitely not going to be happy about the contact between him and the Mercedes of Alexis Beast. JM 1.8 seconds between him and Alexis, but Zayek is now also trying to close up to the leading duo. Seven tenths, 1.6, 1.5 now between the Mercedes and the McLaren. JM's chasing him back down after the contact, and I doubt he's going to have some nice words to say about Alexis. Tommy XXC 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's gone over the track limits too many times, but now look at this. The McLaren is within 1 second of the Mercedes. He has put everything into these corners here. And now with the DRS, he's going to chase after the Mercedes. He's on the hard tires, Alexis on the mediums. Let's see which tire is going to perform better. It seems that the mediums may be starting to wear out and the hards might be starting to rubber in. And Alexis goes wide. A big mistake from Alexis there, as he is definitely feeling the pressure from the McLaren right behind him. As Shahomey is off. He's gotten back going again, but here comes Sonic, and he gets a 3-second penalty for going over track limits. JM now on the back of Alexis. He's trying to use this DRS to get past the Mercedes and take the lead and blast away. He's about 2/10 a lap quicker than Alexis. JM DRS right behind Alexis, about 5/10 in between the two. Caution sector 3, most likely the Red Bull of Jimbo. He has been struggling a bit this race. And Tommy XXC has retired in the pit lane. He may be struggling with a little bit of pace getting ready for the start of the season. JM now on the back of Alexis Beast. I wish this game would stop giving me these bad camera angles, but Mercedes versus McLaren part 2. Let's see, will JM be able to get past his rival that pushed him off the track just a little bit earlier? Alexis Beast keeping a good little bit of a gap in between the two. Staying around the lower to mid 4/10 to the upper 3/10, but he gets a little loose off the corner, and that's going to allow JM to close up here on this first straightaway. JM's going to have DRS, but it's going to be a VSC because JoJo's retired. So he's going to have to now scrap his overtake attempt as JoJo's spun on the final corner here. Or the final major corner, sorry. And Jimbo's been disqualified due to what I'm assuming to be the extreme amount of accumulated penalties. Let's see here. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. Wrong way. He was disqualified for going backwards on track. Vacant and Awesome Gumball will receive 5-second penalties for speeding into the pit lane under virtual safety car. But JM had to abandon his overtake attempt on Alexis, as now it's a full safety car. So let's see, will these guys go on to soft tires and try and stick it out for the final 10 or so laps? Some guy's been on those hard tires for 23 laps. This is his first pit stop of the race, and he's throwing on some mediums. As well as a new front wing, it seems. And he's going to be able to catch back up and be on these fresh tires here. He nearly went a lap down. Alexis and Zayek take the soft tires, but JM, he's going to try the mediums and see if they can last a little longer. But here comes Acid Masters. He's not going to be able to overtake the two leaders for most of this race, but he will overtake Zayek. Vacant in the pit lane, switching his tires around. Viperize taking the hard set of tires. He's going to be the only person on the hards for the remainder of this race, unless an additional safety car comes out. This is our second safety car of the race, so there is still a chance for one or maybe two more to come out, depending on the laps remaining when they come out. But 13 out of 18 drivers remain. We've had 5 DNFs so far, but the lead of the race has pretty much stayed the same, minus the first safety car. But now it's time for now it's almost time for the final 10 laps of the race, a 10-lap shootout to see, will it be Mercedes getting the preseason win, McLaren, or maybe even Aston Martin or Ferrari? It's definitely going to be an interesting race here. JM going a little wide there, almost looking like he's trying to let Acid Masters by. Some guy trying to catch up to the field now. He was a good bit behind. He does have a secured seat in G3, as he seems to now be dropping down to it. Safety car in this lap. Mediums versus softs. 10 laps will remain after the safety car restart. Let's see what driver will be able to pull their car over the line and win the Sao Paulo preseason race. And Nander has spun before the safety car even restarted. And it's showing another safety car currently, but no, now we are permanently green. Awesome Gumball gets up to 5th place here. But Alexis Beast leads from JM, and Nander has retired in the pit lane after spinning under safety car. 10 laps remain. 10 laps for Alexis Beast to hold out. But you also have to remember, he has 3 seconds of time penalties, which will affect the final result here, which could promote JM or Acid Masters to the lead. So JM, all he needs to do is stay on the back of Alexis for these final 10 laps, and Acid Masters just needs to get past JM. But one mistake from any of these drivers and their race could be over. JM sets the fastest second sector there. He could be going for the fastest for the fastest lap, and it will go to him. JM takes the fastest lap with a 1:10.6, and he's looking for the overtake on Alexis. He doesn't have to, but he is. JM trying to find a way around Alexis. He just needs to stick behind him and not make any rational mistake or irrational moves and make mistakes to win the race. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to get past the Mercedes, and he wants to show that even without penalties, he can win. He wants to show that it wasn't just that Alexis had the penalties, that he was able to win. He wants to beat Alexis on track and show himself as the better driver. DRS is now enabled, and Awesome Gumball takes the fastest lap of 1:10.583. But now Zayak and Acid Masters are behind. So is Awesome Gumball as he's caught up, but he has 5 seconds of time penalties. But it is just a DRS train for the top 5. Kendrick's just outside the DRS train, and Vito just outside the Kendrick's DRS. Some guy with a penalty for multiple warnings. Vacant is way off the track. He's getting going again. He seems to have had a spin. The McLaren still trying to prove that he is the better driver. Using overtake, so is Alexis, but he's just got more overtake than Alexis does. And he's got the DRS. He's going to try it around the outside again, hopefully not getting pushed off. And he's going to take it, but Zayak takes fastest lap, and now Zayak's going to be chasing after these two. Could we get a shock win from the Ferrari, who's been a little bit quiet all race? He's now trying to move around the outside of the Mercedes. But look at this, the McLaren comes back and blocks off the Ferrari, and he keeps the lead. The Williams now... Oh, and we got contact between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. The Williams goes around the outside. JM looks like he could win this race now. And there is so much battling going on. We got Alexis pushing Acid Masters off wide. And now Kendricks is right in the mix. So Kendricks could get the final podium playing position. As Vacant's around again, same corner actually. If Kendricks can just hold on close to Alexis and Awesome Gumball with enough of their penalties. So Kendricks just needs to stay within 3 seconds of Alexis to be able to take that final podium paying position, and we'll get to hear from the podium drivers at the end of the race. Gumball goes a little wide, so Kendricks might try and make an overtake as Sonic's gone around, and that's given some guy the final points paying position here. Vacant has retired in the pit lane after spinning twice in the same area. So as long as they can keep up with Lexus, it's going to be a good finish for Kendricks. Now, he placed second last season in G3, sorry, losing out to Tommy XXC in a really close final battle with 5 points between them into the final round. And we're about 4 laps to go. 5 laps, actually. Alexis defending from Awesome Gumball. Kendricks just needs to increase his speed a little more just to keep within 3 seconds of Alexis, and the podium is all his. But it looks like unless the McLaren of JM makes a mistake, it's going to go McLaren victory for the Sao Paulo preseason race. But we still have about 4.5 laps remaining, maybe 4 and 4.25, sorry. But I'm not really focusing on JM. I'm focusing on the push from the Canadian of Kendricks. Kendricks staying within the time limit he needs to of the drivers ahead of him. 5 seconds for Awesome Gumball, 3 seconds for Alexis Beast. If he can stay within that for the remaining 4.5 laps of the race, he will finish on the podium and he will be here for interviews. But Alexis Beast and Awesome Gumball do want to pull away from him, as he's the only one up there without penalties. The next person without penalties that's below them is Shahomi, and he's a good bit back. Vito has spun, and it's going to cause a virtual safety car because he has lost his front wing. Awesome Gumball, 3-second time penalty. Vito, 5-second time penalty. So Gumball does not look like he will be finishing on the podium at all. Maybe not even in the top 5 here. Well, we're back green now. Zayek trying to chase down JM for the race win. Kendricks just hanging back, enjoying his time and trying to get this final podium paying position. He'd be the driver from G3 to look out for this season, as he's carried his pace through. It does not seem like Tommy XXC has, though. Kendrick's just holding on. He's got 2 laps to do this. And as long as he can hold for 2 more laps, we will have our podium without any penalties due to Alexis following down the order, but Awesome Gumball trying to send it up the inside of the Haas. And Gumball's lost control of the car. He's around, and he nearly collected Acid Masters behind him. So not a good day at all for the Williams. They had a really great qualifying, but now they've started to struggle late in this race. 1 lap remains. Kendricks just needs to stay within these 3 seconds of Alexis Beast, and he can take the final podium paying position. We'll have JM first, followed by Zayek and Kendricks, but Kendricks needs to hold on. And it seems like it will be Alexis finishing 4th. But let's see here. We've got about half a lap remaining. Anything can still happen. It seems that the audio glitch from formation laps from last game is back. That's a bit annoying. But it's going to be JM crossing the line to win the Brazil preseason race in Group 2. He's going to be followed by Zayek, and it's going to be Kendricks who will take the final position on the podium as Alexis Beast drops down to 4th. Let me see if I can get our podium sitters into the party here. Let me see if I can get them in here for their interviews. But it's going to be McLaren taking the top step on the podium. They'll be followed by Ferrari, who will take the fastest lap, and then the Haas of Kendricks, stealing away from the podium from the Mercedes, followed by Xiaomi, Acid Masters, Viper Ice, Some Guy, Awesome Gumball, Sonic, and Vito will be your finishers, and then our DNF drivers are Vacant, Nander, Jojo, Tommy, Envy, James, and Jimbo. We'll be back here at the same time next week for G2, and Kendricks has joined.
It's basically your jumping off point for all the different. Okay, so feel free to explore. Have a good
Just
look around.
give me half a sec, Kendricks.
Welcome to F1 World. A journey through. As you play, you'll earn upgrades that can be along the way. You'll build up your compendium. So when you're ready, jump into the play.
Welcome to the party, Kendricks. That was a good race for you. You were able to steal the podium from Alexis Beast, who had, I believe it was 3 seconds of time penalties right at the end.
Yeah, I had a very disciplined race and came together at the end for me.
Yeah, you finished without any penalties, which was not something that most other drivers on the grid did. I believe there was only 2 others that actually finished on the grid that did not receive a penalty.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. I think I'm going a little bit slower than I'm used to with my new wheel, and it allows me to be more accurate.
Well, you got a good finish for the preseason. Are you ready for the first round in Las Vegas next week?
I'm ready to cheer on myself and go, but no, I haven't really driven that track, so I should practice it.
And what are your thoughts on your rival from last season in Group 3's performance, Tommy XXC, today?
Well, I had a good race with Tommy. I think I squeezed him on one of the corners in front of him. I'm not really sure I watched the replay, but he's definitely been good this year.
You seem to have gained a little more speed than him for the start of the season. Do you think you'll be able to keep ahead of him in this championship and maybe even fight for constant podiums or even maybe constant wins?
It's hard to say. He's a tough competitor, but I'm going to give it a good shot. I think chances are good that I can compete at some of the tracks, and some tracks that have me covered. It's definitely a strong rival.
And how about your predictions for this season? Where do you think you'll finish at the end of the season in the Drivers' Championship? And where do you think that your team for Group 3E, as you are racing in Group 3, this is a question for Group 3, I did not say that before, but where do you think that, with your pace right now, you'll finish in Group 3 this season?
I'm looking to defend the title for the constructors, and I definitely think I'll be in the top 3 and fighting for that championship again. I lost a little bit of speed switching to the wheel, but things are coming back little by little.
And just one more question before I let you go. Do you think that if you have a chance to get a full-time seat in Group 2, would you take it or would you let it go on to the next driver?
I don't know if I can commit to Saturday's thing, but I would like to run both groups when I can.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for interviews. It was a very nice performance for you. You got P3 in the preseason race. Next weekend will be Las Vegas, and we'll see you there.
Sounds good. Thanks for being here. Oh, one more thing. I'd like to thank my wife and my family for just supporting me and putting up with my racing.
Well, we always have to have some sort of supporters, but it's nice to see that people are always going to be there to support you, no matter what.
Yes, sir. Thanks to LSR for putting on the races as well. Probably one of my favorite leagues.
Well, I will let you go now, Kendricks, and we'll see you again tomorrow, I assume, at 4 p.m. EST for the Brazil Group 3 preseason race.
I'll be there.
And speaking of racing times for this league, we race 4 tiers this season. We have Group 1s at Sunday 2 p.m. EST or 7 p.m. BST for you folks over in Europe. Group 2 will be Saturdays 4 p.m. EST or 9 p.m. BST. Group 3 Sundays 4 p.m. EST to 9 p.m. BST. And then Group C, our newest group, Group Crossplay, for those drivers on Xbox, PlayStation, and even the Xbox, PC, and even the PlayStation drivers that want to race with each other. We race Fridays at 3:30 EST or 8:30 BST. So, we can't wait to see you guys there. We'll see you all in later streams. Tomorrow will be 2 races for the preseason. I will not be commentating on Group 1. I'm not sure who will be, and I don't know if we have commentators for Group 3 Group 3 yet. But if we do have commentary tomorrow, it will most likely be Vacant and James. This is Speedy, your Group 2 commentator, signing off for the night. We'll see you all tomorrow for the Group 1 and Group 3 preseason.